Hi, guys, welcome back to another episode of Zaria Off Script. I'm your host, Zaria, and today we are keeping it very, very, very incredibly off script. Okay, because I'm coming with some, yeah. So, elephant in the room, let's address it. It's been a week. I am a week behind because simply technology was not on my side. I can't tell you how many times I recorded, re recorded, scrapped. I was doing the IT I was doing a lot. And technology just simply was not on my side, unfortunately. So I'm a week behind. And I really had to kind of do a lot of soul searching to figure out, like, okay, all right, am I going to be able to roll with the punches and see it through? Or am I going to be like, fuck this? Because truly, it was a ride. So those who are still here and are anticipating my drops, thank you. I'm here and we're picking up right where we left off. I appreciate the patience, and I'm gonna go right into the big thing that I wanted to get into and address. My heart is so full with how many of my friends and family are supporting me and looking to cheer me on along this journey. I'm so grateful. Shout out Dominique because she got me a new microphone, so I have to play around with that and figure out how to set that up. Dominique is my cousin, so I'm just really happy and grateful. Thank you, girl. And I have some friends who are like encouraging me along the way when I was crashing out about my videos not working and my phone just doing a bunch of nonsense, telling me to just literally keep going, try this, do this, like giving me ideas. And when the ideas weren't working, unfortunately, I had to kind of just buckle down, figure it out, and keep going because I have people that are cheering for me. So I just want to say thank you. And then I also want to address the family in Trinidad who are reaching out to my mom. Shout out my mom for posting my stuff on social media, reposting my stuff on her social media. My family that are reaching out to her and sending me really like well wishes and really encouraging messages through her. I swear, like, I couldn't have imagined that my reach would have been this wide because everybody always has their own thing going on and everybody has their own life that they're living, but to know that I have my friends and my family, encouraging me like this, my heart is warm. So I feel even more motivated to really see it through because I know people are rooting for me and almost counting on me a little bit. So I just want to say thank you and I love you guys and I'm happy to be here doing this. This is a passion project for me. So to be able to say that I can do something like this without, any stress or strain on it. And I'm really just like here in the comfort of my home. Guys, I'm home. Like I'm home. I'm in a new setting, but I'm in the comfort of my own home and I'm really just like having a good time with it. I feel a lot of gratitude. So again, for the millionth time, thank you. Sending you guys lots and lots and lots of love. I hope you guys receive it. And yeah, like let's just get right into it. My life is funny. I have to laugh in serious moments because otherwise like I will actually lose my the last two brain cells I have that exist in my head. So let's just laugh. The phone was dying, I ran out of storage, all while I was filming. So we're picking up where we left off, babe. Like I let's not even no more excuses. We're rolling with the punches like I said before. Let's keep it moving. Experiencing disappointment in friendship and relationships is very unique, and it's not unique in the sense that it happens a dime a dozen. It's unique in the sense of how do I navigate this, because this is someone who I the expectation is different as a friend versus like as a partner, as family, whatever, right? um but it is a very treacherous road to try to navigate through still, because you want to be able to be receptive to whatever the person's going through, vice versa. That being said, I want to talk about disappointment or experiencing disappointment in your friendships and relationships when they don't show up for you. I the phrase that's been going on in my head recently has been snakes in the garden, and it really does suck because for the most part I don't have a really big circle, right? I keep it relatively small, mostly because I just can't be bothered to have too many people around. But the people that I do have around in my life, I thought I vetted enough and I trust and love deeply enough that I involve them in my endeavors across the board. I have a few people who have not been showing up for me in a lot of my endeavors, and it's been hurting my heart. I won't even lie about it. It's been hurting my heart in a way that makes me question their intentions with me, and you know, what even is the reason for this interaction? What was your goal, right? And it sucks because like I said, I've mentioned it in a couple of different episodes, but mind you, it's only 3 episodes. Like, calm down, girl. But in a couple different episodes, I've mentioned just the way that I'd like to show up for my friends. I think for the most part, I'm a very energy, output person. And so I spend when I do interact, and I think across the board, when I interact with anybody, I just make them feel good in any way that I can. I make them feel good. And so, I have the friends that having this experience, I'm having this experience with right now that with them, because I've mentioned, like I said in the past, that my friends are really creative, I show up in a way that I'm catering to the creative part of you and trying to help you with your endeavors and trying to help you create ideas, trying to help you broaden your horizon and, open a lot of doors for yourself, and also pouring into you, pouring love into you in a way that just you feel good. You feel good about what you want to go for. You feel good about yourself. I make sure that the people in my life feel good as long as I'm involved, because I do think that everybody is special, and it I've experienced enough in my life where I didn't feel that. I didn't feel special. I didn't feel the love. I didn't feel supported. So I make it a mission of mine or a goal of mine that those around me feel exactly that. So now on the back end, when it comes time for me to now have my own endeavors and I'm starting my podcast, I haven't shared that with a lot of people before I, uploaded, but now that it's here, not receiving that now, having people tell me, let me rephrase, not having the people that I'm experiencing this disappointment with show up for me and show me such love and support, it hurts my feelings. And I won't lie, like, it's making me want to cut the onion open, put your name in it, so it's shut, go to the graveyard and X, Y, and Z. Like, it makes me want to take these steps because it's not even a thing of like, cursed is your name. It's, you took the energy from me, you used my energy and my resources for what you could, and now you're literally giving me your ass to kiss. I'm about to show you something even worse. I want you to be having nightmares about me because how dare you, right? And so I okay, in one of the other episodes I tried to record, like, I kept talking about like being people's karma, because this is a conversation I have like all across the board. You can't wait for karma to come and do its job. Sometimes God or the universe, whatever you say, God places you in people's lives to be that karma. Not every situation is, I'll pray about it and let God handle it. God put you in that place for a reason. You are supposed to be that person's karma, because not everybody's going to have a big crazy accident, or they're going to blow up, their head is going to explode. Like, they have to now meet good people, fuck them over, and then reap what they sow through that person. So I'm in the process of trying to decide whether I want to take the high road, and I've taken the high road many a time. I'm in the process of deciding when I want to take the high road. Was that English? Or if I want to be the karma, and like, what course of action do I want to take, especially because I am somebody who is really spiritual. So my actions, I'm very intentional with it. I don't ever believe in, you don't bring a gun to a sword fight, right? So I have to remain cognizant of the fact that the people that I'm dealing with, sure, while I may agree that they've done me bad or they've fucked me up in a way, I don't want to put out more than I should, because it's not right at the end of the day, right? But I will pray about it and I will speak to my ancestors about it, because no, how dare you? That's literally how I feel. Like, I just feel like in my heart of hearts, like, at the end of the day, how dare you? It's so fucked up, especially because a lot of people ride on being real, being authentic, being this, being that. But then when it comes time for you to show and prove, because talk is cheap, it's all about your action, you don't, right? So, that's, I wanted to touch on that a little bit, because we all see it on social media when they say, like, don't expect your friends to be your biggest supporters when you start whatever business you're looking to start. It's going to be the stranger who's patronizing you the most and supporting you the most. Okay, fine, I understand that. But I think experiencing it now, it just stings a little deeper because you do, when you have more context behind the situation, you hold these people to a certain standard. If I had a fuck off friend who was just a fuck off friend, I wouldn't expect anything from you. But that's not the friends that I keep around me, or that's what I thought. Why would I expect you to now fuck off and be like, yeah, I don't give a fuck what you got going on? And then the people that I least expect are doing the job. Like, what's happening? Like, why is the world turning upside down? Why is my world turning upside down? So I have to get that off my chest because it really is a thing of like reevaluating again, calling back to community, reevaluating who's in my circle. Some of these people don't need to be here, even down to cordial interactions. Sure, I can be nice to you, but not in a way where you ever feel comfortable enough to call me for anything. Anything. Because no, you couldn't even show up for me in the slightest way, down to clicking the link that I posted in my Instagram stories, following my page, reposting my content, giving watching the video for 5 seconds to give me the view. I don't want to fall into the trap of, this is gonna sound a little like wazy, but I don't want to fall into the trap of, oh, but why don't you follow me on social media? Like, what's that about? While also remembering, like, but no, the follow counts, especially for what I'm trying to do now, what I am trying to get into. It does count. The view counts. The interactions on my socials count. So the least you could do is follow the page, the Instagram, like the video, even if you don't watch it. Click the link when I post my link for my video on my Instagram story so that I can get the view. Subscribe to me. All of these things don't cost anything. I'm not selling you anything that's worth any money. I'm literally asking for 30, for the most part, minutes of your time. And if you don't have 30 minutes, give me one. Give me 1 minute, right? And again, asking for my friends. I'm not even asking, like, I'm not on the street waving around flyers. Hey, come see me, come check me out. I'm doing this show. Da, da, da. No, I'm asking my friends. Like, what the hell? So yeah, that's been on my heart heavy, and I hope I'm explaining myself in a coherent manner because I understand that my emotions are really high right now, and I had my crash out already. I had my friends over this weekend, and like I had a moment to just like lose my mind the way that I needed to, but it's still, because these people mean so much to me, it's still like it's a lingering feeling. So I hope the message that I'm trying to relay is hitting the way that it is. And if there's anybody out there that's watching that can relate, understand that, take it from me, like really truly understand, not everybody is meant to be your friend, not everybody is meant to be your supporter. And you have to just roll with the punches in that regard. I think the term of the, or I guess the phrase of the day is roll with the punches. You have to be able to kind of just pivot with these people and understand, like, shout out to Mel Robinson. Let them be who they are, and show you that, yeah, they don't really give a fuck about you, and then you just you take that for what it is and you move on with your life. You can either stick around and deal with it or not. You can move on with your life and just be like, fuck it, like I don't want to deal with this because it's not what I deserve. That's where I'm at right now, where I feel like it's not what I deserve, so I don't want to put up with it, and I don't have to, thank God. All right, guys. So the next topic I wanted to talk about, really, and this one I'm gonna keep it short because I think it deserves a full episode, is how I manifested where I'm at right now, and the mindset that I'm in a way that I had to kind of restructure my mindset because I've experienced so much different transition. So the first point I want to get into is, I had a conversation with one of my friends a couple weeks ago, and we were just having a long talk. Me and this friend, we talk about a lot of stuff spiritually, and I love it because I'm the spiritual friend. He's the logical friend, and so when we can like bounce off each other in that way, it just creates great conversation. But we were talking about, just like the woes of adulthood and living in reality and experiencing like the 3D of, hardship, whether it's financial, relation, just personal, mental, whatever it is. I saw a TikTok video right before I spoke on the phone with him. And the TikTok video was talking about the law of attraction, and then like it's transitioned into the law of normalization. That is something, when I saw that video, that spoke to me so deeply. And I sent it to him and I'm like, I need you to watch this and I need you to apply it to your life as much as possible because it's such a great message. Essentially, the person in the video was saying, with law of normalization, you have to kind of take stock into what your life is currently, what your standard is, and make that your normal so that you don't feel like you're ever in a place of lack. With that mindset, you're then able to kind of appreciate what you have and open yourself up to bigger, right? So I'll use myself for example. My new normal now is the fact that I live on my own, beautiful apartment. I'm living in my dream city, dream state, and I have enough resources to be able to take care of myself and experience really, really great parts of life, even though I'm not a millionaire. And one of my manifestations that I'm still working on, okay, is I'm going to win the lottery. All right. I won't say it, but there will be signs. And so even though I'm not there right now, I can say for 110% fact, and those who know me personally know that I manifested the hell out of my living situation. I talked about it for over 10 years. So it's like for it to have come to fruition the way that it did, I just feel like, damn, like, nah, I'm here now. But with that mindset, I had to be grateful, of course, be really happy for the fact that I was able to get here, create the manifestation and then let it come into fruition and come into the 3D. But then I had to release the fact that it happened and open myself up for more, right? It's the same thing with money. How we know money is energy, money is currency. If you have $20 in your hand and you're holding onto those $20 with such a tight grip and such a tight force, you don't allow for the $20 to leave, but you don't allow for 20 more or 40 more, 100 more to enter in because your grip is so tight, right? So the law of normalization allows you to create what your standard is. This is it. Like, this is this standard. This is normal for me. Therefore, you can exist in it and open your psyche up to more and be able and ready to receive more. And so when I had that conversation with him, I'm like, listen, as much as we can be logical about a lot of our reality right now, it doesn't serve us to live in that because logic doesn't allow for miracle, right? If you try to add logistic to a miracle, like it just doesn't make any sense whatsoever. You'll drive yourself crazy and you'll close off the side of you where things just happen, right? A lot of things that happen to people don't make a lot of sense, but you don't question it. I love the phrase, don't put a question mark where God puts a period or an exclamation point. Sometimes it's that dramatic where, yeah, right? So it's like, be logical enough where you can exist and experience what's happening to you, but don't let it stop you from understanding that you are deserving and worthy of experiencing the mystic part of life, the mystical part of life, right? So that conversation, even for me having it with my friend, made me sit down after I got off the phone with him, had me sit down with myself and like almost take stock into what is my life. You know, I'm not necessarily in the place that I want to be because, like I said before, I've experienced a lot of transition, but I also experienced a lot of greatness that sometimes, like, I'll be just, it was a simple sunset that happened the other day. And I love this lady I'm about to bring up. I was talking to my spiritual mentor, who I see once a year for the most part, but if ever, I'll see her, you know, as needed. And so I had a meeting with her the other day, and I was telling her like I had a moment of appreciation, like deep appreciation for my current situation because I where my view is, I have a perfect view of the skyline, I guess, the sunset. I could see a beautiful sunset, beautiful sunrise. It's right there, right off my balcony. And so just randomly one day, I'm like moving around, moving and grooving. I probably was cleaning up or something, and I just looked over and it was sun was setting, and I'm like, oh my god, this is beautiful. What the hell? And it's like it's right there for me, and it allowed me to kind of step out of the mundane or the routine part of my everyday, where I take a lot of it for granted, and really appreciate what I was looking at because I prayed for that. And it was even a little better because never in my manifestation did I say I have a beautiful view and da da da. But down to things like that, I have a beautiful view. I have a view, period. But now let's add a little extra sparkle to it. And I was able to like appreciate the whole nature side of things. And oh my God, like it's right in front of me. And like every day I'm watching a beautiful sunrise. It don't it hardly rains in the area that I'm in. So every day is a beautiful sunny day, which means every day is a new day for me to wake up and just try again, put my best foot forward and make some shit shake with a beautiful background, a beautiful setting, right? The reason I brought that up to her is because part of the meeting was an ancestor came through that, kind of the message that was being relayed is I do a lot of negative self-talk, and even down to it being a joke. I made a joke to my mom and my friends the other day, and she did not like it. She made sure to call me and tell me a couple of days later she did not like it. That before I tell the joke, backstory: I was someone who suffered from depression, deep depression, and suicidal ideations, and so now with the joke that I made, I said, God forbid I ever have to like get to a point where I'm living out of my car, I'll just kill myself because so what? Like I can't do that. And I'm like, okay, I made the joke, like, let's move on, let's laugh about it, move on, keep it moving, right? My mom did not like that at all. And I was just like, Ma, like, it was just a joke. Come on now. But with this meeting that I had with my spiritual mentor and the ancestor coming through, saying that I do a lot of negative self talk and I say things that almost kind of like disrespects my bloodline because it's like, nah, we worked hard for you to be here. And for, I'm getting emotional. Hold on, y'all. Sorry, that was a little too real, but because I never really even got to sit with that, I just kept moving with my day. So now that I'm like sitting here talking to you guys about it, it makes me emotional because it's like, yeah, my ancestors fought hard for our generation to continue, and then I'm here where I'm at now, and I am quite literally living my ancestors' wildest dreams. Like, who would ever thought? So for me to now make these jokes or even just say things that like I become or I embody the negativity that I'm spewing. When that ancestor said that and I immediately knew what he was talking about, I had to clean myself up immediately. I don't make those jokes anymore. And it's been a couple of days, but because remember, you say a lot of things that it becomes like subconscious, where your subconscious doesn't know the difference between a joke and your reality. So it flies off the tongue for me, right? Or for anybody, it flies off your tongue without a second thought. I have to do the work now to actually catch myself when I'm ready to say something like that because I have to remember that's not my life. That's not my reality. I don't even want to joke about something like that because I don't want it to become the norm for me. So now, going back to the law of normalization, my manifestations and my affirmations that I have on my fridge, right? And I told myself every time I go to my fridge, I'm going to repeat them. And I set an alarm 3 times a day, 369 method. I'm repeating my affirmations. It's to rewire my subconscious and my brain from what it is, from where I got it, right? So with the suicidal jokes or like the negative self-talk, telling myself that I'm just a dumbass bitch, whatever, right? Rather than that, telling myself something different. I'm blessed. I'm highly favored. I experience miracles every single day because I'm deserving. I'm healthy, wealthy, and abundant. And then I list off all the different parts of my life where I am. It does take work, but it works, right? Because then I start to appreciate the fucking sunset in front of me or the sunrise in front of me. And I start to appreciate the little things that are going on in my life. I have enough money to pay my bills and I have enough money to go outside and treat myself. I have enough money to do whatever I want. If I want to laze around and veg around in my house, I can do that too. So it's like that doing that work and creating that new normal was very important for me. But I wish more people were cognizant and like understanding of that and applied it in their life where they see fit. And I'm sharing that now because I really would like for those who are watching to be able to do the same and see how it shapes your reality moving forward. It's such like a small little thing, the affirmations every single day, but it really does like start to apply in your life in little different areas. And I want to share that with you guys because I think it's something great, and I want to give people, especially with everything happening in the world, specifically in the US right now, I want people to still have hope with we're all struggling, we're all trying to figure out how to make ends meet, but at the end of the day, like, you create your reality. There's nothing that's, you can't dream big enough, right? Whatever you want, you can get it. And when you finally get it, when you finally experience it, you'll be able to look back like, damn, like, yeah, I did that shit. Life is good for real. All right, guys. So jumping into our next segment, this is where I read Reddit stories. I'm still workshopping a name, don't worry. But this is where I read Reddit stories. And this one doesn't necessarily have anything to do with our topic today, but it's still good enough. So, am I the asshole for divorcing my injured wife and adult son at home? Struggling to make sense of this, my 55-year-old wife is injured with multiple cervical fusions, leaving her in a position of working a lower paying job without benefits. Her physical limitations are real. It has only been 7 months without her working, and I understand the impact of our finances. I'll, 54 years old, add that she doesn't accept that we are pulling in less money and no complaints from me about her situation. We also have an adult son, 26 years old, who lives at home and works 10 to 15 hours a week, but does not contribute to finances. My wife says slash enables him to stay and we pay for everything. It causes big arguments around supporting his path in life moving forward. There is no real path, just a constant series of delays and kicking the can down the road for 5 plus years. The most realistic option to living within our means is to downsize and plan for just my wife and me. However, my wife is 1,000% against the idea because it doesn't include our son and we would sell the house to downsize. I don't want to sink further into financial hole and I'm considering divorce if we don't make a decision very soon, like maybe 6 months. We literally are living paycheck to paycheck. Note, we already borrowed on an HELOC 25,000 and borrowed 25,000 from my 403b. We have no more extra. Am I the asshole for possibly leaving them? I actually do want to answer this one as honest as possible because first, no, not the asshole for deciding like I have to put my foot down. Um, I'm gonna tell you why I want to answer this one though, because I came from living with my mom who took care of a lot, if not all, and my sister and I really didn't have to do much. We had like one or two bills that we contributed that were like some of the more minor bills. And so we were just responsible for ourselves. And so I'm fortunate and blessed enough to say that I was able to have a situation like that because my mom did so well for herself. Therefore, she was able to do well for me and my sister, even up until I moved out. That, it was a no brainer. I like to consider myself a Nepo baby, and I'm coining that term because that is my reality. I'm a Nepo baby. I manifested it, and like I'm living it. Thank you, mommy. Thank you, love you. But anyway, back to the story now. So with that context in my head, I still am gonna say no, not the asshole, because the difference between myself and this person's reality is my mom was able to comfortably create this life for us that we didn't have to do too much with our finances and we didn't have to contribute anything essentially other than what we were responsible for. Talking about my sister and I, this person now, that's not the same thing for him. The wife is injured, therefore she took a major pay cut with her career and her income, and they're still living at the means of when everybody was working a really great job, having great finances, just now with a significant income cut. I think we kind of lose sight of the fact that we are still our own autonomous individual human selves. You can't work yourself to the bone to make everybody else happy. Everybody has to pull their weight in some way, shape, or form when things get tough, when the going gets tough and the tough gets going. You have to be able to show up and figure out a way for everybody to contribute so that we can be happy, right? If you're not your 26-year-old son, again, coming from a now 27-year-old who just came off of being a Nepo baby, your 26-year-old son not saying, oh shit, like, yeah, we are kind of struggling. I'm seeing that things are not looking like my mom isn't happy, my dad isn't happy, things are looking da 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 da. Let me figure out a way to contribute a little bit more. Hey, so what's that about? And then here goes mom enabling the bullshit. Mom, you are not making the same money you were making before. Unfortunately, the reality that you had at one point is not that right now. And if the most logical sense is to downsize so that you can still have the same way of life as before, what would be the issue in that? Like again, you have to be able to live and exist. This is perfect. You have to be able to exist with logic and whimsy or a mystic so that your life can be harmonious. If right now this is not the reality, that doesn't mean give up hope completely and say fuck this. Now we got to live in a shack and we have to sell our cars and da da da. We can't go on the vacations. No, you make adjustments that make the most sense so that you can still have the enjoyment in your life. Are y'all following me? Am I making sense? I don't understand why. I do understand. It is a hard adjustment to make. It is a hard reality to come to. But such is life. Such is life. And maybe something will happen along the way that'll be able to boost you guys back up and allow for you to pick up where you left off essentially. But until then, be smart. I want to say be realistic, but it's less be realistic, be smart. Like move in a way that just makes the most sense. You know what I mean? All right, guys, so that concludes our episode of Zaria Off Script. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. Really happy to have you guys, and I hope to see you at the next one. Bye.